Before we begin, let it be known that unless there is undisputable proof of what we're about to say, everything that Weird RR are going to say in this video should be considered alleged. With that being said, let us begin with what might just be the single most colossal story of corruption that we have ever seen in the history of this channel's existence.
I mean, we're going to tow his truck regardless. It's just a matter of it's going to be healthy.
There's nothing in our system.
Yeah,
so
no, that's what I mean.
To us, you have not been charged with anything.
She made a false report. She wasn't home at 2 o'clock. I have proof.
Again, for my lieutenant, last time we're not taking a report. We're not going back months and months. And
an entire police department and a sheriff's office. A court system including a judge and district attorney. A millionaire family with a psychotic spawn, and a famously incompetent defense attorney, all either failing to help or even intentionally ruining the life of one man. And that man's name is Jamie. As I just said a moment ago, this is going to be one of the largest stories that we have ever had to cover on this channel. And as a matter of fact, it might just be one of the biggest that any channel has ever covered, period. It legitimately makes the situation between Sean Paul Reyes and Brian Fahey look tiny by comparison. So the best thing we can do for this right now is to take things one step at a time. I'm going to do my best to, at the very least, provide all the basic information on this entire ordeal, which is to say, there is going to be a lot. The only thing I ask is that you try your best to follow along. Sound good? Then let us begin with the events that took place in mid to late December of 2023. Starting with first laying the foundation between Jamie and his ex-girlfriend. And let me tell ya, this lady is quite the character. Like if you thought your ex was a snake, this lady is a frickin' viper. And I say this because they used to live together at this rented house, owned by none other than the ex-girlfriend's mother. And this mother just so happens to be the wife of one of the higher-ups, if not the CEO himself, of a company called Oil Corp in Monroe County, New York. And reportedly, this CEO has close ties with the chief of police of Greece, New York. So already we can see that this lady has the power to destroy the lives of anybody she comes in contact with. But the reason she suddenly decided to turn against Jamie is a lot more sinister and a lot more petty. Now keep in mind that at this point, Jamie and his ex were together for several years, roughly a decade. But on December 18th, the primary victim of this entire situation tried to text his landlady, his ex-girlfriend's mother, to fix the mold problem they've been having in their house that's been going on for years. Not only that, but there were also pests in that household, including but not limited to mice and rats. And even with pictures of the mold and fecal matter of those pests, this landlady completely ignored him, to the point where he had to hire his own exterminator for that house, which cost just under $300. And this is what angered the ex, because she wanted that money to go to her mother. I'm not even joking, she literally got mad at this guy for, instead of giving the mother more rent money, paying a guy to fix their house. And so a few days later, right before Christmas, there came a moment where he had to use some disciplinary action against his ex's daughter. And keep in mind, he had never gotten physical with that daughter until this point. But the ex proceeds to use this and completely blow it out of proportion. Because after she lied to him about working and cleaning, and as it turned out she was at a place called Joan Fabrics until about 2:30, 2:45 p.m., at approximately 5 p.m. she made a complaint at the mall stating, and I quote, "Approximately 2 p.m. I was in the bathroom with my daughter and noticed a red mark on her butt. I want him arrested and a full stay-away order of protection." So instead of asking Jamie what exactly happened, she took it upon herself, with little to no evidence whatsoever of whether or not Jamie actually did abuse this young lady. She got the cops involved to try and destroy this man's life. And this is only the beginning, because the Greece Police Department arrived to remove him, but instead decided to take him to jail and have him booked and arraigned. And remember when I said before that the Greece PD has close relations with Oil Corp, in that this ex is the daughter of the CEO of Oil Corp? And we are only just scratching the surface, we the people. So on Christmas Eve that year, he proceeded to go back to that property to collect his stuff. However, he was neither told nor given a paper stating an order of protection against him, a non-docket case, by the way. He even called 911 while pulling up, stating to the operator, and I quote, "I'm pulling off Latta onto Kinmont, pulling up to the house, parked out front in the road, and I see his ex with my daughter. She's running up the driveway and she's in the house." Eventually the police arrive, and he requests to get his property back and maybe his daughter if he could. Two of them went in, and 5 minutes later they came out saying that they had to arrest him. And they said he was within 500 feet from the house, even though the paperwork didn't state that, as he later discovers. One of the officers read the paperwork and stated, and I quote, "It says right here you must stay 500 feet away at all times. Now you know." That same officer also stated, "She said you said something to her when she pulled up, so you're under arrest." And keep in mind, this is the same police department that is friends with that ex's family. And so they arrested him for being too close, but didn't provide any clear documentation regarding the arrest. So Jamie was booked and then released. Now here shortly we're going to talk about that documentation, but let's continue down the timeline. Now at the turn of that year, around January 4th, 2024, for the first time Jamie attempted to call the Greece Police Department, trying to press charges on his ex for endangering the welfare of a child, but he was denied. And over the phone he was told, and I quote, "This is a family matter and we're not doing this back and forth SHIT. Well, if it was a family matter, then why did you arrest him twice? Remember what I said earlier about the Greece PD being friends with this ex's family? In February that year, he gets taken off of his daughter's HIPAA, and then on April 9th, he called multiple different places to find out information about his charges. From the district attorney's office, to the district attorney's secretary, to the Greece PD and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And each and every one of them had one thing in common to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Odell, but there's nothing I can do to help you.
Well, is there anyone that can? Because I don't understand what's going on. There's no charge.
You'll find out when you go to court.
What do you mean? I'll find out when I go to court. So is there a charge or not?
When you go to court, you'll find out.
But I've been going to court, and I found out already, since I've been going to court, there is no charge.
So then don't worry about it.
Okay, so everything's good then, or?
Well, you're not in our system, so... Well, there's nothing in our system.
Yeah,
so
no, that's what I mean.
To us, you have not been charged with anything.
Exactly.
I don't see anything for the 23rd. I see... Yeah, I don't see anything 12/23 of 23.
No, what about 12/24?
No.
Nothing?
No.
That should confirm to you that this is a clear violation of many of this man's rights, including but not limited to his Fifth Amendment right from double jeopardy and a fair trial, and his Eighth Amendment right from cruel and unusual punishment. And the reason why I say that is because, knowing there were no charges put against him at this point, it should confirm to you that each and every time he was arrested was completely unlawful. And thanks to him obviously being innocent, whatever these cops do to him, starting from the point of them putting him in cuffs, should be considered cruel and unusual punishment. He tried getting in contact with Internal Affairs at the Greece Police Department, specifically so-called Sergeant Ichus, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he wasn't even part of internal affairs and he didn't help the situation a single bit. And then came a point on April 15th when it started that this man was unable to see his daughter for 6 months. Oh boy. Are y'all sticking with me so far? No? We'll take a moment to pause if you're not, because we've got a lot more to go through here. We have yet another new character being thrown into the mix here. So Jamie's ex received a phone call from Vicky from the Victim Special Unit at the Greece Police Department, stating that Jamie was a danger to her and her kids and advising her to press charges. So the more and more you look into this, the more violations of Title 18 Section 241 you witness out of this situation. The Greece Police Department is wholeheartedly and with extreme prejudice siding with the ex. But in late April of that year, when Jamie tries to file a report against the ex, this is how they respond to him.
This is wrong. And then, too, I called a sergeant today. I spoke to a Sergeant Murphy at the Greece Police Station. He looked up my charge from December 23rd.
We're not talking about those little charges, Jamie.
Oh, we are. December 23rd. I was not arrested.
I'm here for the small claim stuff. The stuff
Okay.
in the past is already in the past.
No, it's not in the past because I was not. Okay, I was arrested but not
It's
charged.
already been handled, Jamie. I'm not getting into that again.
Okay, but is there somebody I could talk to about that?
Yep, you call your lawyer.
I talked to the sergeant today, which told me that I was not arrested on that day.
Jamie.
It's
I'm
just a
not getting
report.
into that again for the,
So if it's just
ninth
a-
So, okay, so why is the sergeant telling me this?
Okay, you can bring it over to your lawyer.
Okay. Okay. It's not gonna be Michael
Not getting back
Geraci.
into
Fine.
charges.
Okay, so what can we do about my property? My mom's got text messages.
Small claims court?
Yeah, and they all won $500.
That's the small claims court awarded you?
That's what they say, but I could take it to trial though.
Take it to
Go
trial.
to trial then.
So there's nothing you guys can do for me. Okay, what about her making a false report that got thrown out of court that's not in
I'm
court?
not getting into this stuff.
No, what do you
If
mean?
it's thrown out of the court,
So
then
for
you're
to get your
good.
money, you gotta go through.
What about her? I can't, she put false charges on me saying I broke her
Jamie,
finger.
I'm not going back into this.
This is just April 29th.
This is stuff.
She said I
already
broke
gone
her-
over.
She pressed charges on me for something that happened in 2021.
We're not going back into this again.
How can she? It's a false report. She said I
Calling us. There's nothing we can do right now. If you want your food, if you want your money, you gotta go through claims.
So if someone makes a false report, okay, what about her kidnapping my daughter? She moved.
Have a good night, all right?
As a child, you're supposed to make an arrest, correct?
Okay, so Jamie, you were arrested for endangerment welfare of a child. You were then arrested for violating the stay away order of protection.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Jamie, I don't need you telling me.
No,
New York
on
State
on that police report, she wrote at approximately 2 p.m. She was in the bathroom with her daughter. Noticed that mark, and then she took the picture.
Okay,
Well, she wasn't home at
I had
2.
nothing to do with that report or that initial arrest or anything.
Okay, but
like
she
that.
wasn't home. She made a false report. She wasn't home at 2 o'clock. I have proof.
Again, for my lieutenant, last time we're not taking a report. We're not going back months and months and
But
doing all this cop shop.
But I've been calling for a while and trying to tell this about the report.
And you tell us the same thing every time, and you've been given the same answer from.
But
officers,
how can you guys
sergeants,
not take a report?
Because my lieutenant explained it to you last time.
Well, what's the explanation? That it's not a family court. It's not a family matter.
I'm not going to go back and repeat the entire conversation. He had a conversation with you last time we were here and explained it to you. You told him that you understood what he was saying.
Yes, but I also understand that there's a lot of bullshit going on here too, though. That day when I was arrested for the order of protection, you were the one who said that I was supposed to stay 500 feet away on the paperwork.
Correct, I was there for that. Yeah, you were
But it doesn't say that on the paperwork.
Just stay away order. Okay.
It didn't say 500 feet. It
If you like
didn't.
explanation for that arrest, you violated the stay away. You were on the property and you talked to her.
I did not talk to her. And that's funny too, because on the police report it says, I noticed Jamie out the window in his truck. I have an order of protection against him. I want him
Is
arrested.
there anything else I can do for you? Because
Okay,
the
but-
answer remains the same.
But listen though, she said on the report, as I'm looking out the
I can't
window,
go back and
I
change
know,
any prior
I'm not
reports
saying,
or change any of that
but
stuff.
it shows that she's lying. I'm looking out the window, I notice his truck, I have an order of protection against him, I want him arrested.
And at the very end of that month, because he decided to expose them on YouTube, multiple officers enter this man's home without a warrant and decide to arrest him, charging him from 4 different charges stemming from February of 2021 and beyond. To name some of the charges, they were second-degree assault, choking and strangulation, and 4 charges of endangering the welfare of a child. They forced this man to spend 11 days in a cage with a $3,500 bail. And this is where things get really juicy. You see, the daughter involved in this charge was not born until December of 2021. However, the reason why he got these charges, which stemmed from February of 2021, was because the ex reported to the cops that Jamie broke her finger while she was holding her daughter in February of 2021. Yes, she broke her finger while holding her daughter that didn't even exist yet. So following a heavily altered police report and an order of protection being written up in a family court referee when it should have been a judge, and of course that same protection order not being served to Jamie because he was sitting in a cage, one day on May 21st, 2024, he was arrested yet again for violating the order of protection because he had the video of the Greece Police Department denying him a report on his ex. And I think at that point he was just so tired of being raided and unlawfully arrested that he just decided to turn himself in for booking and fingerprinting by Officer Forrester. Now things at this point seem to take a rest for a few months until October 15th, where this man was quote-unquote pulled over at this county clerk's office by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Now let's briefly talk about them. If you decided to look up the sheriff of Monroe County, that being Todd Baxter, on X, his profile states the following: husband, dad, master sergeant of the U.S. Army, captain of RPD, chief of police of Greece, executive director Veterans Outreach, and sheriff. This man used to be the chief of police of Greece, New York. So combine that with everything you've learned throughout this video about what happened to Jamie, and you can understand exactly why he's getting involved here. But when this man was quote-unquote pulled over, the deputies decided to conduct a field sobriety test on him for some reason.
This is Deputy Finn. Hello, how you doing, man? Just gonna talk to you a couple minutes, make sure you're sober, and then if you're sober, we'll go from there, okay? What's your name, man? Jamie? Gotcha, I'm Deputy Finn. Good man, appreciate it. Real quick, I'm sure my partner already talked to you. I just gotta ask you about potential impairment, okay, my man? You good? I got you.
11 years sober.
Okay, that's awesome, man. I just gotta ask you, okay, my man? Anything today? Any prescription pills? Anything like that? Hey, sir, I'm still alive, by the way. Okay. I got no concerns.
Okay.
I mean, there no HGN. His one leg stand was fine.
Okay.
Only thing is, he had a couple clues on the walk and turn, but all other than that, I didn't have any crazy eyelid tremors or anything like that. I would not feel comfortable, so I'm not going to be making any arrest of any sorts. He's been very cordial and decent with me. I don't know what the next steps are in regards to dealing with him.
He did admit that he did tell me that he is Jamie Odell.
Yep.
October 12th of 81.
Okay.
And that he is revoked. There are no lock restrictions. So we'll process a standard traffic arrest.
Okay.
And then once he has his tickets,
What's the license status?
Since he's not drugged or drunk today, it's a standard hold, not a DA hold, right?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have no idea with that. I would have to look into the GOs for it.
I'll double check myself, but I think if he's not drugged now.
Okay. Where's the other outside of curiosity? I thought there was.
I'm trying to avoid blowing up the cover on the
Okay.
to him or anybody
Okay.
else.
And you said his name is Jamie Odell?
Jamie Odell.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, we're going to tow his truck regardless. It's just a matter if it's going to be held for the DA.
Okay.
I think in this instance it may not, but we should double check the GOs.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, I'll go tell him.
Am I being arrested for that? Do you know?
Right now, you're being arrested for the traffic charge of operating on a revoked license with an interlock restriction. We're going to give you some traffic tickets.
Well, why won't you tell me though? That I
Driving
can't stop
without
anybody.
1198.
No one. I can't be arrested for stalking somebody. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to arrest me and put me in jail. That's it.
Who's they?
The fucking judges and everybody that's involved in this corruption that I've been trying to expose.
Operate out of your
That's who. I'm not lying to you. That's what I've been doing. I'm not lying. I was just on the radio the other day. I'm missing my daughter. The judges are all involved. The clerk, our BPD.
When they realized they couldn't get him on a DUI, they decided to place him in cuffs and accuse him of making terroristic threats, as well as 4th-degree stalking in the state of New York, and driving without a license. Yeah, they did everything within their power to destroy this man's life, just like what the Greece PD has been doing. Along with this, they impounded his truck, one of his only modes of transportation, and they confiscated his phone. And I don't know if it was them at this time that did this or later on in the sequence of events, but they decided to go through his phone and delete his YouTube channel. I don't think I need to explain the rights violation on that. And you want to know the worst part about all of this? This was just an act of them putting him further through the system and ravaging him even more, because they didn't even file any official charges against him. And to think there's going to be a part 2 to this. I mean, I haven't even gone into how utterly incompetent his current lawyer is. Alright, this is post-edit recognizing our rights here, and I gotta be straight up with you guys. Although we've hinted at and implied before that there'd be a part 2 to this entire ordeal, part 1 alone took me just shy of 40 collective hours to complete for the past few weeks. That is over 10 times more hours put into one video than we've ever done for any other video in the history of our channel. So we're going to correct ourselves right here and now. Due to the sheer incomprehensibly large volume of this entire story, we may be able to do a part 2 on this if we get enough comments down below specifically requesting us to do so. If the rest of you want us to finish this up, please do let us know, and vigorously so. Assuming that Jamie lets us do so, we're going to leave links down below to one of his brand new channels for you to go subscribe to him and support him in any way you can. And if any of you happen to know a lawyer in the state of New York who'd be willing to help this man with this horrific and colossal attempt to destroy his life, please do not hesitate to send us an email at recognizingourrights@gmail.com. And never stop loving the good old Constitution.